We can learn so much from history. A UConn law student from Clinton decided to delve into the life of Claude Zanni and his service to the nation during World War II. He was killed and buried at the Normandy American Cemetery. My guest is law student Brett Martin. Brett, welcome.
Thank you, Ann, for having me.
All right,
Pleasure.
how did you decide to delve into the Zanni family's story and Claude in particular?
Well, it goes back to my final semester of college. I was a student at George Washington University studying history and international affairs. And there was this really well-renowned class at the university all about the Normandy campaign. And so the class was, you had to interview, you had to get into the class, and then over the course of the semester you would learn about the Normandy campaign. We would go to Normandy over our spring break, but it wasn't just a sightseeing trip. Each of us students would learn about, investigate a soldier who's buried in Normandy from our local area. And me being from Clinton, I stumbled upon Claude Zanni from Old Saybrook. So our assignment was research the soldier's life, and then at their gravesite in Normandy, at the Normandy American Cemetery, give their eulogy. And then at the end of the semester, we turned in a biography. That was the final writing assignment. Their biography, which is now on record at the Normandy American Cemetery as the official record on that soldier's life.
Now, you put all of this in a book for Home and Country, an American Family, and the Second World War. What did you learn about Claude?
Well, he was a family man. He was 37 when he was killed. He was a B-17 bomber gunner. He was in the ball turret gunner, which is underneath the aircraft. He lived, his whole life in Old Saybrook. His parents came to the United States in the late 19th century. They actually got married here in New Haven in 1900. They had, Claude's parents had 7 children. Claude was the oldest of 4 sons. Himself and 2 of his brothers served in World War II.
What did you feel when you were in Normandy at his gravesite?
It's a really weird feeling because I remember it well. I'd spent 3 months to that point researching and thinking about this guy. And I remember I was at the back of the group and we were being led around the cemetery to each of these different grave sites for the students who researched the soldiers. And I sort of stepped out from behind somebody else and I saw the name, and it was as if I was seeing a family member's grave for the first time. It was really a more profound experience than I expected.
What does the family think about this book that you've written?
Well, I think they are happy to have somebody come along and catalog it. I was super lucky to get in touch with Cabby's, by the way, Claude Zanni, he was really known as Cabby. He was the only person in his family that had a car. So he drove everybody around like a taxi cab driver. So he was known as Cabby, and I refer to him as Cabby because in life and in death we're the same. And I got in touch with his 70-year-old niece who never met him. And she had all this material, and she's the one that really gave me a lot of the details on the family, and I was able to fill in the military aspect. So putting it together, I think, gives the family a little bit more of a complete sense of who their family member was. But also, I hope that they are satisfied to know that their family really gave of themselves and acted so courageously at a time when their country needed them to. And I think that's something that their family can be really proud of. And everybody in Old Saybrook can be proud to know that residents of their town gave of themselves to the country in its hour of maximum danger.
This Sunday, you're going to go to the Kate from 1 to 2 and tell people more about Claude Zanni. Quickly, did this change your life at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be here sitting with you right now if it weren't for this story. But I also think that it renews, I've always looked to history for inspiration, but it renews my sense of recognizing what's at stake. I think today we get so angry with each other. Some Americans look at each other as enemies, and I think we have to look back to history and recognize what's at stake, and that so many people fought to make our country a better place. And this story, and for me, really drives that home.
Brett, beautifully said. Thank you so much for being here.
Ann.
And if you'd like to know more about the book that Brett has just written, go to WTNH.com or the News 8 app.